I'm here with Jamie Cormack, head promoter from Batl Promotions. He's going to be discussing his upcoming fight this April with us. How you doing today, Jamie?
All good, mate. Thank you very much for having me on.
Not a problem at all. Very, very much welcome. So let's talk about two nights that you're having showcased on the 3rd and 4th of April.
Yeah, so some people think I'm mad, but during, obviously, with the current climate, contrary to belief in the media and stuff, Dubai's still cracking on. We've got fighters that have been training, they've been trying to make weight, and I still wanted to make these fights happen. Instead of doing them over 2 weekends, we've condensed them into 1 weekend. We're going to do a show on the 3rd and a show on the 4th. This is just easier logistically because we're bringing in around 13 opponents from abroad, so we want to make sure they all get into the country on time, they're in hotels, they're in and comfortable as well. Like, everybody's safety is our sort of like main concern. So we want to make sure that everybody's here happy, everybody makes weight, and they're going ahead.
Talking about safety, obviously, with the situation that's happening in the UAE at the moment, you're still going ahead with the event. You seem to be very confident about putting on the event. What is it that gives you hope that the event, one, will succeed, and two, you can bring in the people for this? Obviously, times are a little bit conflicted at the moment, aren't they?
So we've been in touch with DET and DTCM as well as Dubai Sports Council. We're taking advice from them, not daily but regularly, and they're assuring us, and they've made us feel great about the situation, about that they want to support our events to go on. Then secondly, our events aren't reliant on tourists. Our events, the majority of our fighters are all based here. They have audiences here, and they've built themselves up here. So we owe it to them to put this on when they've been training hard all year. So that's why I'm confident in it, and I'm confident their fans and the people for them will show up. The community around boxing here is unbelievable, so I'm not worried about that at all.
I agree. The community here certainly has been in it at the moment. They've been attending so many events that have been happening. You've just had your event the other month at Westin, which was a success as well with Ramla Ali. So you're right, the residents here, I think it gives them something to look forward to in these times that are a little bit uncertain. And like you said, you can't just be locked away and staying indoors. You need to still have the community, and I think this boxing community that you're creating here in Dubai is certainly something special.
No, 100%, and it's growing and growing. You're seeing a lot of young lads come through now, and boxing's popular again. There's days where you go down to Golden Ring, British Boxing, Box IQ, and you've got 20, 30 people there for sparring days, which is nuts. The people that are getting into the sport, then the pros coming through from that, and you've got lads like Neil Depala, Asad Tukan, Mikhail Hussein are all young lads, and then Andy Chanik as well. The way people they see them and they want to be like them and box with them, and as those guys grow and win, say, maybe youth titles or regional titles, you're going to get more and more people behind them, and I think it can only be good for the region, and we're seeing that. The way boxing's grown in the last, say, 18 months here has been unbelievable.
Absolutely, it's definitely grown, and you've had some great lineups as the other months showed. You had the WBC Youth Championship belt, and on this card, do you have the WBA Intercontinental title that they'll be fighting for?
Yeah, so we are doing Night of Champions on the 3rd. We were originally meant to be doing a prize fighter tournament, but obviously due to people flying in and stuff, we've really focused on the fighters that are based here. So we are going to have 3 WBA international belts. We also have a WBA Central Asia, a WBA Middle East. We have a UBO World Championship belt and 2 UBO MENA belts. So we're going to have a load of fighters that are based here, that are already fighting on a high level stage, like Havanas Bashkov, Anita Ryan, Daud Alev. They should all be fighting on the zone shows. This is how quality these fights are. So we're honoured to have them on the show, and they trust us to have them on our platform and grown it. Then we've got Michael Roos, who's our co-founder and grassroots regular. He's going for WBA Middle East. And then we've got a couple of African lads, Jeremiah and Faoud. They're going to be fighting for UBO titles. And we've got Rachel Lally. I'll drop this week what title that she's fighting for. Rachel's had some amazing interest recently that she's getting offered fights at the highest stage. And we're just making sure Rachel's journey is correct and she gets the opportunities that she deserves.
Excellent. It's certainly an impressive lineup that you've got over these 2 nights that's upcoming. And for belts as well, this really gives people, like you said, hope. And then the people watching as well, the fans, they can see that you're building young champions in the making here, especially in Dubai, on this stage and on this platform, which I think we haven't really we haven't really seen in development before, but we are seeing a lot more now.
No, and that's the plan. Like we've talked regularly with the WBA, talking to the WBO, the IBO, we've talked to like multiple organisations, and we want to push belts in this region because we want the young lads to aspire to having something. And if we can get the Asia titles, the youth titles and stuff here, you're going to attract more talent to come in. Like our aim is like we're very fighter first as a promotion. Like we're not trying to compete with the big guys. We're building it up at, no pun intended, a grassroots level. And we want to have all the lads to know that there's a journey there for them to be able to win these belts and be seen on a stage. So you're pushing their ranking. It's all the talent in space here. We're going to attract talent from the Middle East, Africa, India, Pakistan, and really grow it within this region. Because I don't believe anybody is doing that. And then having these belts gives these guys that sort of that goal to work towards. When it's not just you're not just fighting on gym shows and then hoping you get picked up something. Like we're making sure these guys get the opportunities they deserve.
Do you also think it gives them that regional recognition with the belt, like when they upload their videos on Instagram, for example, or YouTube, and they get that notice from their fight fans within their country or within this region? Do you think that builds up their credibility as well as fighters?
Yeah, 100%, because you're seeing that as well, and especially if it's not like, I don't mean this in any derogatory term, but like if it's not like a paid for belt. Like we want the lads to be fighting for like, or the youth titles, or the girls to be fighting for like the Asia Gold titles, like ones that mean something, that you're having to fight credible opponents, so it pushes them up in the ranking. And like I said, it's just going to grow that ecosystem here. Like I want, if there's someone who's fighting at middleweight, for example, they win it here, they're then told, right, you've got to fight that person in the region next, or you vacate your belt. So it makes it more competitive. We spoke off camera about 50-50 fights. Like that's what crowds want to see. They want to see great fights. If you look at that WBC World Youth title, like Ibrahim Bokadim, that was an unbelievable fight. Like the back and forth in that fight was phenomenal, and that's the fights we need to have here. And we owe that to the fighters, not just the fans. Like they need to be seen and getting to show off what they do.
Absolutely. You know, having the eyes, I think, on these fighters here in Dubai is where it needs to be. You're in one of the best cities in the world. I know what's happening at the minute is not great, but it seems to be settling. And even though the uncertain times are there, fingers crossed it all settles and the dust kind of blows over and we can get back to having the eyes on the sport here in boxing. Because like you said, this is a real hub here. This is a real community where boxing is growing. And I feel like you can have, even for yourself at Batl promotions, you can have these larger fights and you can have them at even larger venues.
Well, it's coming here and like it's not stopped. We're still going to put on an international fight night here. It's going out to a serious audience, but you've seen over the last few weeks, there's still been boxers here. Sky Nicholson came through the other week. You're looking at AJ's moved here now. Like it's still a hub for the sport. And like I said earlier, I feel the Dubai government and like your sports councils and stuff are really looking after it, and they're making sure things like for me, it's business as normal. I know there's reason for concern, but it's not dangerous. Like in no way would you consider. I would say it's dangerous at the moment. And that's why I'm confident in putting on these shows, and why all the lads are still out running, they're still out training, everything's as normal for them.
It's brilliant to see that they have that hope inside them and that confidence that they're happy to get up in the morning and go for their road work and go for their run and start training again. At least that hasn't put a downer on them, and they're still preparing. Like you said, they're making weight and getting ready for the fight, which is just under sort of 2 weeks away. So yeah, we're close now to the fight date. What are the expectations after this fight on the 3rd and 4th? Are you looking to have like a big showdown potentially in the summer here in Dubai before it gets really hot?
We'll continue. So I didn't even touch on that. The 4th, our next event after all the titles night we're really putting on a showcase for all of our locally based lads and the lads signed to us. These are lads that have started boxing here, they're based here, they're young lads coming through. So that night on the 4th is an unbelievable night of boxing. We've got some great stars on that. We've got Neil Depala, Asa Tukan, Abdullah Chandio. We've got the Khan brothers that are both debuting on that, and then a few other amazing fights that are coming through. And then we headline that with an international fighter called Ruben Torres. He's trained here quite a bit, sparred with some of our guys, and yeah, he's an exceptional talent. So just having all those guys busy, and then we will carry that through into the summer. We'll do a show in May. Last year we did a 4th of July show, which was a great show. It was one of our best in terms of atmosphere. We'll do something around that time again, probably after the World Cup, because we want to get that out of the way. You don't want to be doing shows when that's on. And then we'll be looking for something really big in September. September time is typically, we always do a show around then. It's always like last year was sold out. We'll be doing something big in September. It's just planning on what that is.
Brilliant. Well, Jamie, it looks like you've certainly got a great lineup on the 3rd and the 4th coming up of April. And then in May, fingers crossed, and hopefully a really big event that you're going to be putting on in September. We look forward to this. Thank you for your time today, Jamie.
Thank you very much.